Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for the next part of our live reaction playthrough for Dawntrail. So, recap from last time. Wow, a lot of stuff happened there. But to make it short, we made it inside the barrier. I mean, we call it the dome, they call it the barrier, either or. We made it inside, and we found out that 30 years have passed inside the dome. So everything inside there has aged 30 years, including the people. And even though it's only been a few days for us, like some kind of weird time distortion inside is what caused so many changes here. And that also explains why Zeroja was so surprised when he saw his father hasn't died yet. So that was probably a real shock to him at first. So they all realize this by now. They realize that time has indeed moved faster inside than outside. We were also introduced to Queen Sphene, who is obviously some kind of play on Princess Garnet from Final Fantasy IX. And yes, this is the kingdom of Alexandria, only like far off into the future. It's like, how do I put it? It's like a futuresque version of Alexandria. So, I don't know, maybe if you want to imagine like the world of Final Fantasy IX, like that Alexandria, like advanced like several thousand years into the future. So I guess that's the best way to describe it. So, while we were here, we did go off looking for Erenville's mother, Kakiwa. And we did find her, only she's now in this form of like a robot. So it's pretty obvious that she's controlling the robot from somewhere far away and she's just speaking through it. But we just ended up finding her location and she's with a group of people. It kind of reminds me of some kind of rebellion being planned. So I'm guessing it's something along those lines. But let's go ahead and just kick off where we left off. Okay, so here we go. So we're inside the mines. It's like an old abandoned mine shaft that seems to have been transformed into a kind of rebellion hideaway. Okay, so gone and forgotten. Erenville is conflicted by his long-fated reunion. Let's see what she has to say. Don't sound too excited for us, buddy. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldesion. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. Yeah, called it. That was pretty obvious. Yeah, what operations are you talking about? We're members of a resistance organization, Oblivion we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zeroja's ambitions for conquest. Ah, kinda like that idea. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are, though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is... As I expect, you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two different worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then does this mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend than that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zeroja. Okay, so this predates like the fusion, I guess. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. Aww. None of you are wearing those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? Glad somebody spoke up about it, because I was wondering about that. You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of Electrobe's technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Wait, what? Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? How? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of cell souls is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource, and payment for services rendered? That's dark. Like, how does that work? The void-sent practice of consuming others for their ether comes to mind. In similarity, I expect that the act comes with some risk. Oh, 0. Oh. Farfarello and... what was that other one's name? Chiriato. Chiriato and Farfarello, and then there's Zeromus. Yeah, doesn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence... The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer. So if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. I don't understand. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that the regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. Oh man. But then they're just completely forgotten, like they never existed. So this is what is meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people that archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators and an integral step in soul cell production. So what, when a person dies, their souls are just like wiped clean of their memories? Okay, so we're getting an example. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. How does that work? It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Well, what happens to those people then? This is nuts! So, the more cells, the more soul cells someone has, the more lives. They're given basically extra lives if they die. But what happens to those souls that die? Like, they just cease to exist? Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. Like, no one remembers them! And this is why people are happy here? On its surface, it's similar to the Yokui philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Yeah, this is messed up. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. It all comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Oh, what happened if it was your soul? Like, what would happen? Like the barrier encased in Alexandria, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used electrodes to devise a means to save what lives they could so the nation could endure. Well, I guess when you put it like that... But still... I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Torali would also accept this way of living. I mean, 30 years... came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sphene didn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zeroja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motive, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Yeah, and they're basically trampling all over the laws of nature here. Quite right. But however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Well, that's helpful. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go see a real example of how these regulators work then. I mean, this is explaining several things here, and I'm grateful for that, but man, is it dark? Because I'm just scared what this means to all those people who died wearing them. If you take care not to get struck by lightning out there, our fellow wreck and you can dodge them by jumping back the instant there's a flash, but that's crazy if you ask me. Oh my god, that is a reference from Final Fantasy X, isn't it? Nostalgia. Firearms make the most sense for people who don't have combat training like us. That's why we salvage as many as we can from the mechanical soldiers and convert them for our use. Okay, Nostalgia is my twin sister. Like most people, we both used to wear regulators, but, well, let's just say a lot happened. I kind of like these two. They kind of look like my sisters here, like Claire's sisters, because we all look so much alike. And yes, I'm sure you noticed that Kitty has joined us. And for the couple people who've asked me what his name is, believe it or not, his name is Vitra. Yes, I did end up getting him after Endwalker came out, and I so adored Vitra's character that I couldn't help but give him his name. He's kind, he loves attention, he loves his big sister, yeah, so it seemed to make sense. Okay, to alter the memories of the populace with such precision is no small feat. What does she intend to show us? We're to see how the regulators work, but how? Hi, Kitty. I'm sorry, but I just can't accept the idea of using souls as a resource. Yeah, me either. I'm very much disturbed by that. So those regulators are to blame for everyone forgetting Namika, for forgetting what a wonderful person she was. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a kindness to me. Everyone's here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunder Yard's hunters to fell any fiends found wandering the area. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, Strika, one of these hunters. So I think I can see where this is going. We're going to watch her, technically die, so to speak, and get a first-hand look of how they come back. Please, no. Don't attack me. I don't want to deal with this right now. Judging by its name, I take this facility is for... What do you think this is in this box? I'm guessing food. Not everything's about food, Let's get this over with. I am not blind to the potential benefits of these regulators. The risk inherent is giving another party the power to alter your memories cannot be overstated. Never mind the ethical considerations of using souls in such a fashion. Given the opportunity, I should very much like to study Electrobe on behalf of these students. Well, I'm sure that's something you can do later. Strike will show you what life can be like wearing a regulator. Kakiwa, what are you doing here and with so many friends? Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on, I assumed that they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? I can assure you that they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, I don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Kakiwa said you're a hunter, but wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. The Thunder Yard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. That seems like a flaw in the design. Some good they are, eh? But these faculties are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructure, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. Special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. What do you mean selection of souls? I brought this lot here to see this danger you speak of, if it's not too much trouble to ask. Of course, in which case be ashamed to waste my efforts on just any old beasts. You can all handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should slay what we can. Okay. I think it's... Hello? Hi, Vitra. Yeah, I mean, I'm predicting some of you might be laughing at the name, but really, like, he is very sweet, he's affectionate, and he does have a big sister whom he is very, very fond of, so... Yeah, I think that the name suits him. I mean, when I first got him, he was named after a rich hillbilly, and like, no way was I gonna keep it. Okay. What are we getting here? And I really did enjoy that, what he was saying earlier back at the hideout, when he was joking about how it was crazy to try to dodge lightning bolts. For anyone who's played Final Fantasy X, that is kind of like a mini game where you get like part of a special weapon, Lulu's special weapon, if you dodge 200 lightning bolts in a row, which if you ask me is quite excessive, which is way too much if you ask me. It was just terrible doing that mini game. Okay, so we gotta do with another one. These guys are kind of tough. Like, are they robots or like a cross? Or are they like wild beasts that just became infused with lightning? I have no idea. Oh, it's that thing. This one will do nicely. We'll help you. It's fine, really. I faced worse. Just watch. Don't like the looks of this. Let us help. It's gonna be fine. Oh no. Look out! Well, preserve. She needs healing. Okay. What? Okay, I get she comes back, but how? Is like her own soul rejuvenated? Or is it like one of the other souls taking place and just copying her memories or something? I don't know how this works. This makes no sense. That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. That's exactly what Zeroja did now. Okay, so she's doing something special. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. Just like Zeroja. Come on, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator? I'm guessing so. Okay, so we've gotten a few answers here and even more questions. I have no idea, like, why this is happening. I think I understand now how Zeroja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, but I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me you empowered yourself with the souls of a beast. Reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered at Vanguard who did the same. Ah, okay. I think we've seen something like this before, like in Pandemonium. Yeah, it was. It's like that... What was it? The 9th level? Whatever. So you cross paths with one of the king's elites. Such a form can only be achieved from gorging yourself on souls. We could do the same, in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. I should be getting back to work. Take care. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls, those of people and those of beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. Wow. And what about the souls of beasts? They work much in the same fashion, imbuing you the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you use the soul of a wolf, you could grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Strika. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth may become fangs, your nails claws. Too many and you'll become more beast than man. That's a fascinating concept, but still. Changing one's form through the souls of other beings becomes more and more reminiscent of Void Scent. Yet unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. Well, what would happen, like, if you guys run out of souls? Because you have to run out then if that's the case. Cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept, being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations and the reflections are surprising indeed. I mean, that's true, but we still don't know which reflection this one is from. And they can't all be, like, highly advanced technology, can they? I'm sure some of them are more, I don't know, medieval or primitive. I don't know. This is all so nuts. Sphene speaks of lived experiences that suggest that she's far older than she appears. Considering the power of these regulators, perhaps it's not so far-fetched. Yes, thank you, thank you. Like, she has to be a lot older than she looks. I've never seen it for myself, but it's said that if a beast's soul is potent enough, a single soul is enough to induce a monstrous transformation. I mean, I can't imagine that would be good for you. When Mixelk spoke of surprising civilizations and other reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. I have a feeling that it was probably one of them. I understand this is a part of their culture, but it is no less disconcerting. I haven't seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand. I simply can't accept what they've done here in Alexandria. While we have all our thoughts on souls, for now the important thing is that we know what power Zeroja has at his disposal. It is one thing to separate corporeal ether from corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. This is no longer only Tuliolo's concern. With his newfound power, Zeroja has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped, no matter the cost. Yeah, I mean, what's gonna happen to those souls that are used up? Like, I have no idea what this could end up meaning for those souls. Like, are they gone forever? I know that they said that memory survives, but what's the point of memory if you can't remember anything? I'm not sure I like this whole concept. Domebreaker. Yeah, we'll go with that title for now. Okay, so Regulators gives Zeroja a frightful advantage, and that's just one of the devices he's gotten his hands on. If we're to have a chance at defeating him, we have to learn all we can about the technology he has at his disposal. Okay, embracing Oblivion. Okay. I trust you gained an insight to the use of souls in Alexandria. It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed myself at first. I expect you'll need some time to digest it all. But for now, let's head back to Earth and Sky. Earth and Sky, I'm guessing that's their hideout. At this rate. There's something I want to discuss with everyone. Let's take a moment before we head into the tunnel. No, I don't want to fight. I don't see why people would be happy about being able to forget people. I don't think that's fair. What does Lamachi wish to discuss, I wonder? I understand the argument that we should keep an open mind if this practice is integral to their culture, but every fiber of my being rallies against it. To think that everyone has lived here for 30 years, long enough to become accustomed to the way of life. It is well that we could see firsthand how regulators are used. To draw upon even the souls of fiends, I shudder to imagine how powerful Zeroja could become. Sorry for delaying us, but I have some thoughts I need to share. In both technology and values, it's plain there's a wide gulf between Tuliolo and Alexandria. Yeah, I think that's an understatement. And while Zeroja knows everything about us, we hardly know anything about what he's become. Indeed, we haven't even seen what lies within that enormous tower, Everkeep. Solution 9, that's what. I'd like to make a proposal. That is that we work with Kalkiwa and her people. We need to learn as much as we can about the enemy. The quickest way would be to join hands with Oblivion. I thought we already were. That's usually what happens. We've only just met them, I know, and we shouldn't be too quick to trust, but the fact remains that they share a desire to stop Zeroja. Sphene too claims to be at odds with the King of Resolve. May I ask why you would cooperate with Oblivion instead? Well, they seem a lot more open than the Queen. It's simple, really. Their elder is Erenville's mother. Meanwhile, whatever Sphene may feel, she's the ruler of this nation. There's a greater risk of working with her and less reason to take her at her word. I mean, she seemed shady as hell to me. Fair point, and knowing Zeroja, we must assume that his arrangement with Sphene was not made without some consideration. All I know is that it would be heartening to have allies in this strange realm. I think everyone would agree that any help we would get would be welcome. I mean, this is kind of all we have to go on. Hold on, there is no guarantee that it's actually my mother behind the machine. I don't know, she seems pretty convincing. Without seeing her in the flesh, we can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. If it turns out to be a trap, we endanger not only ourselves, but everyone in Tuliolo. As you say, we have no proof that it really is Kakiwa. But I make my proposal in full awareness of this. Wherever we're going to war or striving for peace, we need to learn as much as we can. Otherwise, we can't hope to do anything meaningful. As it stands, we know too little about this realm. We need to remedy that. For need to study the enemy, and when the time comes, strike down Zeroja for good and all. I mean, I'm not against the idea, but what's more, I trust you, Erenville. You've always had great instincts, honed from your time training under your mother. What if I'm wrong? What if sentiment is clouding my judgment? Yeah, if it's a trap, we'll just deal with it when it's sprung. I've said this before. We've made worse plans work. That's always the way of it with you. Fine. If you're set on this, then I'll say no more. Wow, like, one word from us and suddenly he's all on board. He doesn't listen to Whoopla, Matt, he's listening to us. Then it's settled. Let's head inside and secure ourselves some new allies. I mean, Kakiwa here, if it really is her, and I'm pretty sure it is, she's a lot more opening to answering our questions. I mean, it's true that Sphene really can't talk too much in the open, with her being queen and everything, but yeah, I sooner trust Kakiwa as a robot over Sphene if I have to pick between them. Like, she's just shady as hell. Like, she's clearly knows a lot more than what she's saying. I agree with Wuklamad. It's a gamble regardless of whether or not we choose to work with the people here, and more knowledge is better than less. I'm all for dealing with Zeroja. We need to consider how our actions may affect ordinary Alexandrians. They're not the enemy, after all. Yeah, that's true. Can't really argue with that. Oh, hello again. You seem nervous. Wildlife can be very dangerous out there. You need to take care if you don't wear a regulator. Yeah, are we sure we're not related somehow? We look like we are. You understand how regulators work now, I trust? It's one of those things that seem best in action. Our resolve is possessed of conviction and flexibility both. If the tales are true, she learned much in the course of the rite of succession. Please, let's not talk about that. It's too painful. With the resources at their disposal, I'm hopeful that Kakiwa and her people will make great allies. I'm unaccustomed to seeing her make decisions like a ruler. Better that than her former vacillating self, though. Okay, so, what are we doing next? Are we going inside the tower now? Kakiwa, there's something I need to tell you and your people. We came here for no other reason than to strike down Zarosha. But I thought he was your brother. Do you really mean to kill your own kin? My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to bring him to account. I am prepared to do what I must, and I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Zarosha. In light of this, I propose that we work together to stop him once and for all. I realize that this is sudden, that it's a gamble to trust someone you've only just met. But I would trust in the conviction of anyone who shares my goals, so fight with me, I beg you. As you say, our goals align, and I don't doubt your resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been tough going at it alone. While we've gathered ample intelligence, we don't have the strength to take decisive action. Besides, how could we not trust you? My only son is with you, my fussy little bun-bun. He's all the reason I need. Then it's decided. Here's to a fruitful collaboration. Please tell me we get, like, some kind of toys that we can use, like, with you. Thank you, Kakiwa. Everyone, together we'll achieve great things. I'm sure of it. And let's not waste any time. We've been wondering about Zarosha's whereabouts. Is there a place inside that tower? Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion, the king resides on the uppermost level, but while Queen Sphene has a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. Yeah, I'm not surprised. What's more, his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he is at any given time, it could only be the Queen. Even if we don't know his whereabouts, Zarosha will eventually march on Tuliolo again. That's when we can go after him. So we just have to wait for him to come out? The drawback is that we have to wait for the invasion to happen. Innocents would be put in harm's way. There's also the possibility that he'll leave everything to his minions and not command the army in person. No, he'll take the field. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Tuliolo. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him, so now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Kona, who bested him in the right of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants a duel to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawn Servant, and he won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. That's why he hasn't appeared and given you your chance. Surely he's aware of our presence here. At that, I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm. But he won't deign to appear. Then we'll force him to do so. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him, show absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of waiting and turn his attention to Kona instead. He'll attack Tuliolo again, like he said he would. That's a bit of a gamble. I see. If you believe this is the best approach, then we have no objections. Any campaign against Tuliolo requires that Seroja lead his force through Vanguard. We'll have lookouts keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable. If we're proceeding with it, though, we should warn those outside. Indeed, they'll need time to prepare their defenses. I should be glad to coordinate our efforts. I'm already in regular contact with Jashola and make sure to keep our comrades apprised of developments. You can leave Vanguard to us. We'll send word at the first sign of movement. Seems we have a plan. While we wait for Seroja to move, you do well to prepare for battle, and it begins with familiarizing yourselves with the technology that empowers him. To that end, I'll show you Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh, I thought this place was it. You'd be impressed to know that we're located right inside the tower, in the residential district of Solution 9. Yes, finally! Hiding a tree in the forest, as it were. The only question is how to get you through the checkpoint. About that, Sphene said that she'd make it so we could enter without issue. She did? Curious. She's not supposed to have such authority over the sentries. Really? If I recall correctly, her words were that she would register us as guests. I see. Perhaps we're in the clear then. When you're ready, come and meet me at the tower entrance. Yes, so finally! Finally we get to go and see Solution 9. Oh boy. Will you head out? Give us a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when you're working together. Oh, now you're introducing us? You should have done so earlier. Okay. While Oblivion has operatives all over, we're the main crew here. I'm Jode, the leader of this hideout. And the dependable young twins behind me are Nostalgia and Kiwi. I'm Nostalgia. It's a pleasure to meet you. My sister and I were born and raised inside the barrier. We've been with Oblivion for 3 years, and our main duties are surveillance and provisioning. Twins, eh? That explains the resemblance. Wayakawi is a Tonawatan name, unless I'm mistaken. That's right. Our mother is Tuliolan, and our father is Alexandrian. They wanted to honor both cultures. They're beautiful names. Thank you. Though I have no memories of my mother, I like to think I carry a part of her with me. Oh. So that's what made you decide to join Oblivion? We wanted to avenge our father. Ambrose was his name, and years ago he was taken away after a scuffle with a soldier over a disagreement. It was a minor incident, so at first we clung to the hope that he'd be released, but then months went by with no word from him or about him. We made the decision to remove our regulators. We had already lost the memories of our mother. We didn't want to lose those of our father as well. See, that is just twisted. It's bad enough that they're capturing souls, but making people forget them? They've all forgotten about him now. Everyone who had known him. That bastard! Even here, he thinks nothing of his own people! Sometime later, we were approached by a member of Oblivion, hoping to get justice for our father. We joined the order. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to darken the mood. No, I appreciate you sharing this. Together, we'll avenge your father. Thank you. Something tells me you have what it takes. You'll introduce yourself too. Go on. It's pretty much the same story for me. And while mine is a Tanawatan name, I haven't the faintest how things are outside the barrier. It's my dream to go and see with my own eyes, our mother's homeland. Once peace is restored, you must come and visit. The wilds are beautiful, the food delicious, and everyone's so nice. You'll love it. And that's us here. You'll meet others in the back room. That's our headquarters. Some of them are a little eccentric, but they have good hearts all. Well, those are the best kind of people. Ella Nespia. One last thing. It isn't exactly my place to say this, but thank you for seeking out Kakiwa. She talks about you so much, it's clear how important you are to her. That's all. Be good to your mother while you still can, eh? Still can. Well, we'll let you go now. Feel free to use this hideout as you like. Alright, so we are going to be heading off to... Stop that. Sorry. Meanwhile, in Everkeep. Sorry, he's playing with the keyboard. Oh, this is not good.
You've been consulting with Wook Lamat.
Define what you mean by consorting.
No matter. I do not know what you are scheming. But when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require. Is it not?
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wook Lamat bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliolo? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family. The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing. To kill them is my only recourse. Wook Lamat and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
Well, they didn't do it by themselves. You have to kill everybody.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. that such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember,
So it was her.
I could easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Uklamat, if you are Father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuli Yolal.
Damn, you got some serious issues here, buddy.
What now?
Okay. This is pretty dark. By the way, you'll want to watch yourselves around the mechanical soldiers roaming outside. They're malfunctioning and may attack unprovoked. Nostalgia and Wayaki remind me of Alphino and myself. Similar, but so very different. We should chat sometime. Trade twin tales. Yeah, I know that feeling. Takes no small amount of courage to oppose Zeroja and his army. Members of Oblivion must be driven indeed. At long last, we're entering the tower. Not that I'm excited or anything. Not unduly. Just be excited. It's okay. I'm not judging. They say the sky outside the barrier is truly beautiful. I'd love to see it one day. Yeah, the sky here is just all dark all the time, isn't it? My sister is something of an introvert, so I take it on myself to watch over her. By the same token, though, she's extremely cautious and observant. That makes her great at reconciliance. Whatever. I'll help her if she mentioned anything embarrassing. Okay, so next quest is Solution 9, but I think that's a good place to end the story for right now. Oh boy. Okay, so where do we grasp at what we have learned? You've been playing with the camera again, haven't you? Okay, so what do we take from all of that madness? So, yes, the regulators are in charge of like what happened with Zeroja. Like, he technically died, but he came back, and then he was infused with the power of some kind of beast, and that's what gave him the power to strike down Gulu Jaja. Oh boy, and he's not happy with it because he technically cheated because it wasn't his own strength alone that did it. Oh man, and now he thinks that like he can, get satisfaction from that by taking out Kodan Wuklamat because they technically beat him when he was at his prime. But he's forgetting that they weren't alone. They fought together along with a bunch of other people, so he would have to kill all 8 of us, like, together at the same time if he wants to make any kind of real progress. Oh boy, that sucks. So this clearly also shows us that Sphene is definitely not on his side, but is this a case where the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or is she still an enemy regardless of her being Zeroja's enemy? She seems nice enough, but she's clearly hiding some things from us. She can't really speak out in the open, and that's suspicious. It could be just because she's afraid of Zeroja. But I just don't trust people like that. She just seemed too happy to me. Like, if you are, like, overly happy and excited and, all sweet and goody two-shoes like that, that's kind of a warning sign that you're fostering a lot of darker feelings here. Like, if you don't believe me, look at the Dark Knight quest line. Like, the Warrior of Light always seemed to be, like, this nice, kind, gentle, like, reasonable person, but down below, like below the surface, like, they are, like, a festering ball of rage. So, which makes perfect sense if you ask me. So I definitely think she's hiding something just based off that alone. But yes, so we are officially joining forces with Kakiwa and Oblivion to try and bring a stop to Zerosia. Oblivion is definitely a lot older than what we first originally thought. We don't know exactly what the original purpose was for yet, but they wouldn't have brought that up if it wasn't going to be important later down the line. So right now, we're just going to be kind of sitting back, biding our time, waiting for Zerosia to make the first move. So it's kind of like a chess match right now. So we have everything set up. We're just waiting for Zerosia to make his move. And during that time, while we're waiting, we're going to be heading off to Solution 9 and see about the wonders of technology here. I am still deeply disturbed by the whole fact that they are actually cultivating souls here. And I'm still not sure I understand exactly like how this whole thing works. Because like I get it, like they're able to take these spare souls, put them in the regulators, and when you die, how does that happen? Does your soul get trapped inside there and just replenish with like the soul's power and then just come back? Or is like your soul dies and then like you get a copy of like somebody else's soul with your memories just kind of planted over that? Is that how it works? I don't understand how this whole concept works. Oh boy, it feels like this story is getting more complicated than it should be. Like it was supposed to be like a fun adventure. Going to a new land, exploring a city of gold. That's what it was supposed to be, not like this, where souls are used as common as currency here. Like what? What is the story? What is the story coming to? Like, what is the point of the story? I am lost. And I don't like feeling that way. Okay, but before I go in too much into a rant, we're going to cut it there for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and be seeing you again soon. So until next time, everyone, take care.